recently upgraded my computer and I built something pretty special, I think. I have a lot of Corsair products. The reason I went with Corsair is because of their interface that controls all the RGB lights, which you can do, I think, much more than with any other manufacturer's software. So let me show you what I got. I've got Corsair fans, I've got Corsair light strips in the distribution plate, I've got these little light ribbon power cables, which I hacked onto the Corsair system. I've got an EK Waterblock ×2, which I hacked onto the Corsair system. I've got the EK water pump, which I hacked onto the Corsair system. I've got Corsair RAM, so all the RGB controls with one software system. I've got behind the screen, I've got the LS100 light strips, and that controls the lights behind the screen, and it also controls the lights in the desk. So addressable RGB. So this is my epoxy resin computer desk that I made for myself, which I really like. And then I thought while I'm at it, let me upgrade my peripherals as well. My keyboard was a real frustration, and my mouse, and then I just went all the way and I upgraded my headset as well. So that's all Corsair: mouse, headset, keyboard, and then I've got the little Corsair Nexus display. But there's one product from Corsair that I don't have. Well, I suppose there are many, but there's one RGB one, and those are the light towers. So I thought, why not make my own exactly the same way that I made the table. So today I'm going to build giant Corsair light towers. Imitation, it's not the real thing, but I'm going to build my own, and it's going to be bigger than Corsair. Okay, enjoy. So welcome to the Man World Boom, and let's do some epic projects and lighting and woodwork and resin and all that. Okay, so we've got our 4 pieces. Now what we've got to decide here is whether to use the side grain, which looks like that, or the front grain, which is a lot thinner stripes. So what I've settled on, slot the front for the LED strip, and then have the side where the grain plays out in these zebra like patterns, because you've got a lot of thin lines going up, so I think it'll look better with a thin line in between. So next step, we're going to router our channel for our epoxy. So much easier just to cast it this way, and then I just had to tape up the end, and then I could just cast if I didn't slot it through. But now we've gone and slotted it through, so now we on this track and we have to stick to it. So all 4 of them are taped up, and we're gonna mix our color. I want like a pearl effect. So I've got some pearlescent silver here, and I've got some silver sparkle, which is like a glittery thingy. So I'll probably add a bit of this and quite a lot of the pearlescent stuff here. We did a volume calculation. We need about 1 liter, and this is 1 liter. So I'm gonna mix half of the hardener and the resin, the 2 parts in a separate cup, get my color correct, and then I'll throw over to the separate things quite a few times to get the color blend uniform across both buckets, and then we'll pour it into the thing upside down. Okay, so there we go. So I've done my project. I must say it's very rewarding seeing the final result. I think it came out real nice. So let me just run you through what I've done here. So I've got the two inside ones, I've got them connected in parallel, and then I took the data pin from this tower over here, from the top where the light strip ends. I took the data pin down to the bottom, put on a female plug, and then I've paralleled that to the outside two towers. So basically the inside two will run in parallel, and then after them the outside two will run in parallel. And then what you can do with the Corsair software is you can individually select the effect literally per light. So what I've done is I've selected all these lights and those lights together with one effect, and then I've selected the base lights with those base lights together. But in a sequential strip, how it runs is the base lights are first, then it's all of these, then it's those base lights, and then it's all of those upright lights. So you have to select the two base lights, and you've got to select the two vertical sections separately, and then you can put effects on them. There are some limitations because this is not Corsair's official own design, and I set them up as light strips, and there are some limitations to how the effects come out basically. But all in all, I think it came out terrific. I'm really happy with it. The zebra wood looks lovely. If you look on the side there, got the beautiful zebra grain, and then obviously in the front you've got the epoxy diffusing the light lovely and giving you a beautiful thing. The one problem I have with them though is that I actually have too many lights. Once I turn on the table lights, which are off at the moment, then you actually lose sort of both effects, because the table is too intense and the lights, I mean, anyway, they both just sort of fall out of the bus. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to take these. I think how they'll work really nice with my specific setup is if I stack them sort of on the back. This is obviously not my office, but when I move into a bigger office again, then I'll put them in the back on the wall or on the shelf or something. But for now, I'm going to stack them in the back there, and we're going to have a look and see how they come out. And then I can turn on the table lights as well, and it'll probably, I think it's going to look nice in there. One thing I do want to show you guys that's real nice is the base lights, how they sort of illuminate the epoxy layer. So you've got a nice glow happening sort of under these lights standing there. So that's a pretty nice effect that I think came out real nice. And then lastly, the Corsair iCUE software is just marvelous. It's absolutely fantastic. It allows you so much customization. That's why I went to the whole Corsair system. So these obviously plug into any of the Corsair controllers with Corsair plugs. And I made up my own little Y connectors like this. So if you want to parallel, like I've got this under the table, and because the table runs in parallel, and these obviously run in parallel, or I can put all four in parallel as well if I want. But for every time you want to go parallel, you need a Y connector like this. But I mean, that's just soldering and crimping up your own little cables. This will be covered in detail in my episode on how to set up and build your own LED system. This is a pretty comprehensive LED setup. In fact, I've never seen anything as comprehensive as this LED setup. But anyway, it's looking cool. Everything looks cool, pretty cool. I put the towers in the back, and I must say the result looks fantastic. So now I can switch my table lights on, and desk lighting, and that comes to its own full right, and these as well come to their own full right. So I think this is probably going to be my setup in my office exactly like it is now. And I couldn't be more happier. This is wow. It's wow. It's just, I mean, it's everything I imagined and thought it would be. So thanks for watching. This is the final of my tech upgrades and concludes basically my computer build. So I hope you enjoyed it, and give me a like and a subscribe and all that stuff. And we'll see you guys in future episodes. Thank you.